Alice Hamilton was born on February 27, 1869, in New York City, and raised with her three sisters, Edith, Margaret, and Nora, and her brother Arthur in Fort Wayne, Indiana. All the children were homeschooled with a primary emphasis on languages and classical literature, because her mother disliked public schooling and her father was disinterested in mathematics, science, American history, and American literature. Alice developed an interest in becoming a medical missionary, stating that, as a doctor, she could go anywhere she pleased and be quite sure she would be of use. She studied anatomy for a year in Fort Wayne, ultimately receiving her medical degree from the University of Michigan in 1893, where she was one of the few female students. She studied bacteriology and pathology at various institutions, including Northwestern University in Chicago, Leipzig, Germany, and ultimately the Johns Hopkins University. After her training, Dr. Hamilton lived at Hull House in Chicago and taught at Northwestern University's Women's Medical School. Her early work focused on infectious disease, particularly trying to identify the causes of typhoid and tuberculosis in the Chicago community surrounding Hull House. For example, Dr. Hamilton investigated a typhoid epidemic in Chicago in the early 1900s. In 1907, Dr. Hamilton began exploring industrial medicine literature and noticed that industrial medicine was being studied more abroad than in the United States. In 1910, she was appointed as a medical investigator to the newly formed Illinois Commission on Occupational Diseases. Her role was to lead investigations focusing on industrial poisons such as lead. The Commission's work led to the first Illinois workers' compensation laws in 1911 and in Indiana in 1915. By 1916, Dr. Hamilton was considered a leading authority on lead poisoning. She focused her efforts on occupational toxic disorders, including medical effects from exposure to aniline dyes, carbon monoxide, mercury, tetraethyl lead, radium, benzene, carbon disulfide, trinitrotoluene, mercury, and hydrogen sulfide. In 1919, Dr. Hamilton became the first female faculty member at Harvard Medical School, breaking barriers for women in the halls of academia in medicine, though Harvard Medical School did not actually admit women at the time. She split her practice for several years between Harvard and Chicago. During her training and practice, Dr. Hamilton overcame tremendous barriers for occupational medicine physicians at the time and for women practicing medicine at the time. She testified against the use of lead in gasoline and warned of its danger in 1925, although leaded gasoline was allowed until much later in the 20th century. She also studied debilitating hand conditions developed by workers using jackhammers, now called vibration white finger syndrome. Dr. Hamilton pioneered an investigative process where she visited factories, conducted interviews with workers, and compiled details of diagnosed poisoning cases, along with laboratory studies to define and diagnose occupational illnesses. Her reputation rose in the medical field through her work, even though she faced early resistance and discrimination from her male counterparts. In 1935, First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt presented the Chi Omega Women's Fraternity's National Achievement Award to Dr. Hamilton. In 1947, she was the first woman to receive the Albert Lasker Public Service Award for her contributions to public service. She was named Time Magazine's Woman of the Year in Medicine in 1956. During her career, Dr. Hamilton was active in women's rights and a peace movement during World War I, participating in a humanitarian mission to Germany to distribute food aid and investigate reports of famine. She published several works during her career, including Industrial Poisons in the United States in 1918, and she published her autobiography, Exploring the Dangerous Trades, in 1943. She actively fought for improved working conditions, better wages, and the establishment of workers' compensation programs to protect workers. She was so active in social issues that she was on an FBI watch list into the 1960s. Dr. Hamilton's career was marked by excellence in research, education, clinical occupational medicine, and toxicology. After her long and distinguished career, Dr. Hamilton retired to live with her sister Margaret in Connecticut, where she died of a stroke in her Hadlime, Connecticut home on September 22, 1970, at the age of 101. Dr. Hamilton is commonly thought of today as the mother of occupational medicine in the United States. It is impossible to underestimate her contribution to the occupational and environmental medicine field. In 1987, NIOSH dedicated its research facility as the Alice Hamilton Laboratory for Occupational Safety and Health, beginning an annual Alice Hamilton Award to recognize excellent scientific research in the field. The Division of Occupational and Environmental Medicine at the University of California, San Francisco sponsors an annual lecture in her honor, recognizing her achievements in environmental health. Since 1997, the American Society for Environmental History has awarded an Alice Hamilton Prize for excellence in environmental health literature. The Harvard School of Public Health Committee on the Advancement of Women Faculty sponsors an annual Alice Hamilton Lecture and Award to recognize promising junior faculty women. In 2002, the American Chemical Society designated Dr. Hamilton and her work in industrial toxicology as a National Historic Chemical Landmark in recognition of her trailblazing work in occupational medicine. When she lived in the Chicago area, Dr. Hamilton was never formally a member of either Central States or the American Academy of Industrial Physicians and Surgeons. Although evidence suggests that she was made an honorary member of the American College of Occupational Medicine, the precursor to the American College of Occupational and Environmental Medicine, in the 1960s. CSOMA established the Dr. Alice Hamilton Award in 2024 to recognize Dr. Hamilton's accomplishments, but also to celebrate CSOMA occupational medicine physicians who have made significant contributions to the fields of occupational medicine research, education, clinical occupational medicine, or occupational and environmental toxicology, areas in which Dr. Hamilton excelled. CSOMA's Dr. Alice Hamilton Award honors occupational and environmental medicine physicians who best perpetuate Dr. Hamilton's legacy, so that future professionals learn not only from her legacy, but also the distinguished contributions made to our field by the Dr. Alice Hamilton Award honorees in their own careers, tying our past to our present to point the way to our future as occupational and environmental medicine physicians. The awards recipients should embody two of Dr. Hamilton's statements.
Success is not measured by the applause you receive, but by the impact you make. Believe in yourself and your abilities, and anything is possible.